the other hand, is like, oh, I hate Israel. Jews control the media. Jews control every aspect of our lives. And then he's like pro-Trump beyond that. If there's one guy in American politics that is more pro-Israel than Joseph Robinette Brandon, it's Donald Trump. Now, Donald Trump doesn't really give a shit overall about anything beyond Donald Trump and what represents his interests, but enough money has been funneled into his campaign and enough doors he has opened for pro-Israeli sentiment that, like, he's never going to back away from that position. First Sheldon Adelson and now Miriam carrying on the torch of like permanent annexation of the fucking West Bank is so funny. They just like try to overlook that fact.
When YouTube's crowned king of cringe, Shane Dawson, uploaded a video last week entitled, "I Quit. I knew better than to get my hopes up." I mean, Shane has continued to rake in a very comfortable income for years, creating this current brand of brain-eating bacteria-type video, and I've started to accept that he's now just producing an antibiotic-resistant strain of stupid content, for which his remaining fans will continue to reward him until the day he can access his 401k, taste test his last crumble cookie, and exit his editing software forever. And sure enough, this latest video, in which he stated that he was quitting, revealed two things. One, he is not even pretending to be above clickbaiting us to get views. And two, he's not quitting YouTube, of course. He's just stopping the production of his short-lived XDTV series, a multi-camera talk show format in which he would taste test nostalgic snack foods that were expired, because apparently these videos performed significantly less well than his single-camera documentary-style conspiracy videos, in which he and his friends sample a heart-stopping string of takeout food from popular restaurants that he's decided to slander, and his podcast, where he and that same happy gang of hangers-on have theoretical discussions about the obviously untrue rumors surrounding nostalgic snack foods in popular restaurants that he's heard in whatever echo chamber of the internet he uses to fuel his uncomfortable and questionable relationship with food that features more frequently with each video. And I'm not just observing this from up on a soapbox. As someone who prepared to sit down and record this commentary while eating a bag of semi-sweet chocolate chips weighing 1 pound, let's just say I get it. But I also have enough self-awareness to keep my nearly empty bags of candy just outside of the camera frame line, because the only person that I need to bore with that baggage is my therapist, who I get to FaceTime from a McDonald's parking lot once a week. Unable to stomach the last episode of SDTV, I jumped back to Shane's next most recent video, where he attempts to expose the giant pizza conglomerate Domino's with another highly unscientific experiment riding high on the momentum from equally as inconclusive results from other conspiracies he's investigated in recent videos about Chipotle, crumble cookies, Taco Bell, all fast food in general, Olive Garden, Chipotle again, crumble cookies again, and on and on and on and on. God, Shane might be one of the only people in Hollywood who can't go on Ozempic, because he's made eating emotionally his primary personality trait, and without that, he would lose the ability to interact with other people. So looks like it's time to dive into another dipping cup of ranch dressing and get the door for a dumb Domino's experiment so desperate for substance that even Shane's $2,000 party bus rental couldn't make it more than barely watchable. With special appearances from Shane's mom and his bus driver, who would have made a better host, it's time to settle in for some more Shane Dawson lame nonsense for a special meal that's downright bad for you, and I'm delivering it straight to your pie hole in another extra greasy episode of Clip Breakdown. Hello, television viewers. My name is Nick. Thank you so much for joining me once again on my channel for another installment of Clip Breakdown. This is the playlist where we dive into our favorite movies, TV movies, and other such content here on the web, and we break it down like your liver breaks down the fatty acids from the foods you eat, or whatever. I didn't go to science class. We break down each individual clip and morsel of fatty food and decide if it's worthy of being digested in our stomach acids, or if we should just like pass it through our body like fiber. I don't know. I don't want to get into the science stuff, all right? Don't get me started with the science stuff. I can't fucking remember it, okay? Anyway, I'm ready to dive into this Shane Dawson atrocity because he does a lot of annoying stuff. It's like, I'm just annoyed at this point that he's still making videos that are all taste tests. They're all taste tests. Stop tasting tests. Ugh. Like, even when he thinks he's doing something different, he's actually just doing a taste test. And his conspiracy theories are all testing tastes. I could lose my mind. But before I do, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. That lets me know that you want to see even more clompin videos like this. But most importantly, if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you click that subscribe button right down here. That way you never miss new videos from me. Hit that notification bell icon and you'll always be the first to know when it's 30 minutes or less until your pizza's up your pussy. I know I've been slow to upload this past few months. I'm really working hard to like generate that motivation to keep being consistent. YouTube can burn you out, and I'm just trying to avoid that by being gentle with myself. And also, thank you to my management for being gentle with me, because I can be real late on some of these videos when it comes to like sponsorships. Oh, please don't drop me from your roster. I promise. I'm trying. Anyway, let me not beg for my job in front of all of you. Instead, let's beg for death in another Shane Dawson video, which of course begins with our camera operator, Chris, discovering Shane in a clearly staged situation meant to make us laugh, but makes me want to cry.
Oh my God. What's happening?
Okay. Sorry, I'm over here. 30,000 steps trying to get to 35. Before you do this video.
Okay.
Hold on. I know what you're thinking.
Not about holding the camera steady, that's for fucking sure. Chris, I understand that it's hard to see Shane Dawson exercising without having a seizure, but that's why I suggested you invest in a tripod for this shoot. And I'm not trying to shame somebody for getting their steps in and trying to be healthy or working out. I'm just empathizing with Chris because my brain also literally can't understand what's going on whenever I see someone moving that fast while dressed in something that unflattering. I'm like, whoa, the Charmin bear is real and he's dancing by the window. And that's when you need to roll me on my side and call the hospital. Shane has mentioned a few times that he wears all black because of his insecurities with his body, which is fine. I guess Shane has heard that age-old fashion tip that black is universally slimming, which to be fair would probably be working better for him if human eyesight was based on color theory alone. But unfortunately, my vision is also capable of perceiving other aspects of clothing such as fit and cut. I'm just saying, how are you gonna tell me that this is how I dress my body for confidence, and then it just looks like your favorite fashion designer is Pugsley from the Addams Family? Shane was like, oh, who am I wearing? Well, the shoes are a collaboration between Balenciaga and my orthopedic surgeon, and then these are the shorts that I stole from Porky the Pig. Like, okay, those shorts make you look like you're in the Pirates of Penzance. So anyway, as usual, Shane starts telling Chris what the deal is with his new video concept, like this conspiracy theory today, and it's just like, if you have to explain why it matters to people, then it probably doesn't.
So this might not sound like a big deal to you, but to me it is, because to me this just shows the level that these companies are willing to go to lie to us, to make us feel like we're special, to make us feel like they got our back, to make us feel like there's transparency.
Wow, that's a big story, Ace. Hey, somebody get President Roosevelt on the phone. I'm going live. Breaking news. An almost 40-year-old man discovered for the 1 millionth time this year that corporations exist to make money. I repeat, the businesses that stuff us full of disgusting food are not in it for their love of heart disease. They are doing it in exchange for currency. And our sweatiest, sloppiest hole of a reporter has cracked the case. We'll hear from him right after this sponsored break from the Kraft Kickline Girls, followed by a jazzy performance from the Cheese Dump. At this point, if Shane Dawson is truly shocked to learn that Domino's is not just a local mom-and-pop cafe that specializes in assembly line-friendly chicken, cheese, sauce, and bread configurations, then he needs to wake up and smell the $18 root beer-scented slime that he sells on his website. Don't act like you don't understand what capitalism is when you make $13 off of a prize from the arcade. Get it through your head, Shane. Big businesses only exist to take your money, and they will not stop trying to get your money until the day that you die. And even then, there will be other businesses trying to earn money off of your corpse long after it's rotten pulp that's been buried in a box underground. And all of these ass YouTube videos you made start to fade from our memories like they were a bad dream brought on by COVID. Girl is suspicious that the pizza tracker is not actually pizza tracking accurately, which is something I've seen YouTube videos discussing for literally 5 or 6 years now. We've been knowing that, but Shane is acting like this is brand new stuff to investigate, even though his B-roll also shows other people who have investigated and disproven the pizza tracker. And on top of that, he's talking talking about his podcast like it's something that I should know what's going on there, and I don't want to know.
How many steps you got today?
11,600.
Ooh, if you guys don't watch the podcast, you're probably confused about the steps. I think overall dealing with something. It's a competition we're doing on the podcast called the Walk Star Competition.
Who's gonna be the walk star?
We're all trying to fight for steps, and whoever gets the most steps wins the prize.
Wow, that is so fascinating how you're all so out of touch with the real world that you don't even realize how mundane all of your stupid little lives are. He said, oh, you're probably all confused about our hilarious, unusual, wacky behavior. You see, we're doing this step counting contest that everyone's mom with an office job has done. But we're presenting it to you as though it's an exciting, original idea that deserves its own custom graphics and theme song. Like, just admit that you're not interesting enough to have a podcast. Because nobody cares how many steps you've taken, baby boy. In fact, you should be taking steps to make your YouTube videos more interesting. Just worry about whittle-waddling into that direction, how about? Start swaying your hips in that direction, little mama. Like, I knew that you were having a steps contest the second you showed me that, because I'm not an idiot. You're probably wondering why I'm spending so much time talking about something boring that sucks. No, I'm not, because you have nothing else to talk about. None of this surprises me. In fact, every time I go to check out this channel, you can bet there's going to be some form of tomfoolery afoot. But hey, as long as we're in a betting mood, we might as well try to win big with the sponsor of today's video, DraftKings Casino, who I've partnered with because I've recently discovered the thrill of playing real money games from the comfort of my home. We have a casino here in Palm Springs, and I've recently started accompanying my friends there, and once in a while I'll put some money into the slot machines or other games, and I'm like, okay, I get the appeal, for sure. As long as people are being responsible and not spending more than they'd be willing to lose, these casino games are kind of a thrill. It's a fun way to get the blood flowing and have fun with my friends, and with over 300 real money games like slots, blackjack, roulette, and live dealer, DraftKings Casino offers the Vegas and Palm Springs experience from the comfort of your own home. You can play your favorite real money casino games, all available right at your fingertips with the DraftKings Casino app. No matter where you are, there's always access to something fun to do, especially since there are always new games being added. We're talking DraftKings slot and blackjack games that you won't find anywhere else, and I'm telling you, you can win real cash prizes. DraftKings has awarded over $100 million in jackpot winning. And if DraftKings Casino isn't available in your state yet, check out DraftKings Daily Fantasy app, where you have a shot at winning cash prizes all season long. Plus, DraftKings is offering new casino customers $50 in casino credits when they sign up using my code DORAMIO and play a minimum of $5. You heard right. So new players, head to the DraftKings Casino app right now, sign up using promo code DORAMIO, play just $5, and instantly receive $50 in casino credit. I love the fun and excitement of casino games, and I love being able to access them wherever I want with the DraftKings Casino app. So thank you so much to DraftKings Casino for sponsoring today's video. Check them out with the link in the description below. It's a jackpot! Ding, 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 ding! So Shane explains to the whole gang how he's got a theory that the pizza tracker is all bullshit, and they're like, oh, and the names that they show you, like when it says Jerry is delivering your order, it's like not really Jerry, and he's like, well, I don't know, we'll find out. But I've rented a party bus to take us to Domino's, where we'll order a pizza, and then we'll follow the delivery driver to my mom's house near that Domino's so that we can see if the pizza tracker lines up with whatever they're doing in real life. And everyone's like, oh my god, so cool, let's get drunk. And it's like, wow, even Shane's husband and best friends can't make it through the taping of one of these episodes now without a substance to carry them through it. I can hardly blame them.
I'm not allowed to touch my husband without it being weird.
No, it's just an indication of your intoxication.
You don't think I touch my husband without being intoxicated?
We've never seen it.
Hey, everybody's different, okay? Maybe Ryland's love language is feeling the need to recoil from his partner's most fleeting accidental graze. Maybe he expresses his affection by having to get f***ed up on alcohol before they can even watch a movie on the same couch. And that's perfectly normal. Normalized. Apparently to the point where all of their friends openly joke about it on camera. I think it's easy to assume that after our hard-won fight for marriage equality, all same-sex unions are going to be based on feelings of genuine love or mutual respect. I think you're forgetting, queer men are perfectly capable of hating themselves and others, especially if those were the kind of gay relationships that were modeled for them by the episodes of Will and Grace that they saw as children. And from an outside perspective, it seems like Shane and Ryland are perfectly open with friends and family about how their marriage is based on a mutual fear of being alone and having children to trap each other into the sad forms of existence that they've become accustomed to. And that's obviously super problematic, as they are blatantly blatantly appropriating heterosexual culture. And I just feel like it's important that we recognize that. And I mean, I'm not a member of the heterosexual community, and therefore I feel that it's not appropriate for me to speak for the straight community. In this moment, I feel like it's best to use my platform to center some straight voices. And so now I'd like to introduce married couple Derek and Ashley. Psych! No. Like I would ever give up the center of my platform to any straight person. That's the best part of the whole stage. And it's where I plan to do a musical number in a little bit. No. Sorry, straight people. I'm not going to spotlight your experience. In fact, I've alerted the lighting booth to keep the spotlight firmly on me and the wireless mic that I've brought from home in order to sing the second act of Wicked. And a straight person would have to pry it from my cold, dead f***ing grip because this is my show. I built this stage, and if there are any kids or babies crying in the audience, they will be asked to sit out on the street unsupervised. This performance is too important to me, okay? Thank you. So, tonight, I'd like to play you the Rugrats theme song on an electronic keyboard. But first, I'll do a special performance of a 1990s breakfast cereal commercial that I feel I should have been cast in. I was getting ready to enjoy a bowl of chocolatey, peanut buttery Reese's Puff cereal when my babysitter walked in and said, "You can't have Reese's for breakfast." And that's when I knew I had found my first victim. It had to be her. So anyway, Shane and Rylan don't love each other. That's fun. We love that. The party bus arrives, and Shane is like clearly excited because this is the only differentiating part of his video. They're all the same thing. You just have a stupid theory and then an experiment that just proves that you don't know how to set up an experiment. The scientific method is lost on this gentleman. Not to make fun of Shane Dawson's outfit again, but why is he dressed like the stage manager for a high school production of Guys and Dolls? It's like Shane Dawson is what happens when the person who was meant to be in the orchestra pit holding a percussion shaker somehow gets cast in the role of Danny Zuko. But I guess that's the magic of YouTube and the internet, making main characters out of the weird nobody kids from real life. And I shouldn't complain, I'm benefiting from the same phenomenon. I was meant to be just another obviously gay cowboy in the background of group numbers of Oklahoma. But thanks to YouTube, I now get my leading lady moment. It's like I was miraculously cast as the kind-hearted sex worker who gets killed in Oliver. Oliver, Oliver. Now, as I said, Shane's whole purpose for renting this party bus is to offer some type of excitement or novelty to a concept that he's done again and again, which is going to a restaurant with these same people, Lizzie from Rylan's podcast, Rylan, his brother Chris, his wife Sandy, but this time he's rented a party bus, which he's excited about. They're all getting drunk to get on the party bus. It's being driven by this guy named Dave, who I'm like, yeah, Dave could f me. And that was a lot of information that I just gave you, but it's true. And Shane's excited because the party bus has, this time he's rented a party bus, which he's excited about. They're all getting drunk to get on the party bus. It's being driven by this guy named Dave, who I'm like, yeah, Dave could f me. And that was a lot of information that I just gave you, but it's true. And Shane's excited because the party bus has, I don't know, Shane's whole like idea of glamour and being rich is so 2007. It's so like 12-year-old bar mitzvah of a like luxury to even care about. You're acting like this is the coolest thing you've ever witnessed, and it's like I can literally see the cardboard backing on the LCD screens in this thing. But anyway, he's excited because there's a stripper pole, and obviously he has to make Rylan get on the stripper pole and do a spin. Now, I've never been to a strip club either, but Shane's joke about it makes this extra obvious. Like, does he really think that getting a private dance would require him to sit like he's taking a shit at a campsite? Not putting your legs up on the seat like that. Oh, it's giving porta potty. I feel like Shane's always trying to prove that he's the butch one in the relationship. So he's like, oh yeah, Rylan, come shake that thing for daddy. Fully climbing into the stirrups of the exam table from a gynecologist's office. Like, no, sweetie, it's a lap dance. You're thinking of a pap smear. And I'm sorry, is anyone else tired of how Shane is always doing the absolute most for this conspiracy video series? Like, renting this expensive, flashy nonsense? Like, I can't see that it's all just a ruse to distract us from how uncreative his videos become. You're just going for food again. You really rented a party bus so you could make Rylan pole dance? Just to act like that's the reason that you're getting aroused and not because you thought of another conspiracy that requires you to order a bunch of breadsticks? Okay, for somebody with so much mistrust for capitalist franchises, you you sure do give a lot of money and then free publicity to capitalist franchises. That'd be like someone who hates Shane Dawson videos making a bunch of content that would require them to watch every Shane Dawson video. Oh my god, I just had a moment of clarity. Shane Dawson videos are to me what Domino's crispy bacon chicken bites are to Shane Dawson. Something that I continue to consume even though they're causing parts of my heart to calcify. Also that I can complain about them online in order to pay off my MasterCard balance. Wow, this is a lot. It's like the third act of a movie where I get a really cool excuse to sing a song.
Crusty dough with cheesy spread. Shane Dawson was in my head. Can't escape his tasty space. Both so crusty, hard to replace. Shane and cheesy bread. Living rent-free in my head. Pizza nights and YouTube threads. Crusty memories never shed.
Anyway, I just spent 3 hours recording that. Though you think I don't want to go to fucking Domino's for a video? It would be great, but no one wants to see that. We met Spencer in a past video. He is Shane's producer who was purely behind the camera until he wasn't. And now he's in front of the camera, bringing more loud, talking too loud in public energy to the podcast and other things. We love to see it. They have this inside joke where he's hungry boy, and I'm like, everything you say that you think is funny is not funny, but you put it on a t-shirt. So like, okay.
He's hungry. All right, what are we getting today, hungry boy?
Some of the jalapeno cheesy bread.
Only whatever you're having, man. He's hungry.
I don't know, something about Shane's producer Spencer being included in all of their recent episodes leaves me feeling uncomfortable. I think I know what it is, but I've been debating with myself back and forth about whether I should actually say it out loud. I think it's his... Am I allowed to say school shooter haircut? Don't get mad at me, I didn't give him the haircut. And I also didn't accuse him of anything, okay? I'm sure he was a perfectly polite classmate to all of his fellow high schoolers. But I'm just saying, if they put a metal detector outside of the pep rally, I don't want to hear anyone saying they have a pacemaker all of a sudden and the magnet will cause it to short circuit. Well then hold your breath and hang on to your heartbeat, sonny, because zip zap zop, all of the sketchy white boys are getting scanned. That's the only way we're doing this. Oh, this is so stupid. Spencer and what's his place the order, and then Shane is like placing an order also. I don't know why. Oh, the two guys, they place the order so they have an excuse to be in there, blatantly filming, and then the other order that's placed by Shane from the parking lot, which again is a big part of all of these videos. He's like, I'm going to sit in the parking lot and order off their app. It's like, these are the companies you hate because you're buying a lot of food from them. But anyway, they're trying to relay back and forth whether he's following the pepperoni pizza through the tracker, and it's like, you couldn't have ordered a more distinct pizza. That could be anyone's pepperoni pizza.
Is it still a good video if all we have is us having fun in a party bus?
I can see that in this moment, Shane is having trouble being honest with himself, so let me be clear. The delivery driver for these pizzas could be Jesus of Nazareth himself walking up to the door in a blue polo, and then kicking over your mom's potted plant when she doesn't leave a tip. And this video would still be sucky garbage for the first 45 minutes. Like, what was the good part of this video, Shane? When Chris tried a little too earnestly to embody Magic Mike on that pole? No thanks. Although I think we can safely guess which raw footage Shane will be reviewing in his office when that Apple Watch logs his last couple hundred steps tonight. Shane is constantly like, why am I nervous? It's like, you're not nervous, you're just in the habit of expressing some sort of concern or anxiety in all of these videos because it's the only way you can artificially inflate the stakes of some nothing activity. And so the same thing happens when they're following the pizza driver home. Like, the party bus could not be a more conspicuous way to do this. So I don't even get why the party bus is here. I don't get why I'm here. I don't know what any of us are doing at this point.
This is the craziest thing I've ever done. My heart has raced for years.
God, they are both so dramatic. Chris, the craziest thing you've ever done is wearing that red bandana to a pride parade without Googling the hanky code first. And Shane, it hasn't been a year since your heart was pumping this hard. You ate just as much Domino's last week when you came up with the idea for this video. Shane could be like, oh my God, Chris, we have someone from the cable company coming to fix our TV. But what if he's a psychopathic, narcissistic murderer? And Chris would be like, oh my God, you're right. Do you think we should just kill ourselves now so our ghosts don't get trapped in this house forever like the little Asian boy from The Grudge? And Shane is like, ooh, yeah, you can be my little Asian boy from The Grudge. What? Nothing. So, despite all of this hoopla, Shane and the party bus people, they don't even follow the right delivery driver home to his mom's house. So this was all basically for nothing. And even then, the pizza tracker seemed pretty much accurate until they lost track of it. So they still don't really believe that it works, although at one point Shane is like, they were lying. They said that it was still in quality control when it was actually in the car. And it's like, you weren't even following the right pizza, so shut the fuck up. Anyway, they bring Dave, the bus driver, back to the mom's house, and then Shane's like, we had one more conspiracy theory that we cooked up for you. And he has some of that Pascali's pizza, which is just like the ghost kitchen of Chuck E. Cheese. And he opens it up and he's like, look it, this pizza is still misaligned, which if you don't know, Shane has this long running theory that Chuck E. Cheese pizza is recycled pieces of individual pizza that people didn't eat put together because they don't line up right, because when you're using a rocker to cut it, it just happens. But he really thinks like a company would risk its entire reputation by putting used pizza back on the market. Like, it's stupid. And Dave knows it's stupid. He bus drives right over this theory, but in the best way possible.
Doesn't make sense how it, like, where's the other half of that pepperoni? Shouldn't it be right here? Anyway, we're not gonna get into that.
This is worse than 9/11 in this country.
It says a lot that out of everyone in Shane's video today, the most likable person is the bus driver who made a 9/11 joke, all while openly mocking the only topic that Shane has shown a genuine interest in over the last 4 years. Mwah! My compliments to the chef. Shane clearly doesn't know how to respond when he's being upstaged by someone who is actually quick-witted. Look at him. Yeah, you better try and burrow through a hole in the drywall, you little rat. And don't come back until you have something to say that's at least as funny as a terrorist attack. But wait until you hear Shane's final theory, which was his Hail Mary in case the Domino's thing ended up being a nothing burger or pizza, which it was. Don't have much hope for this one either, however.
Supposedly, the way you're supposed to eat pizza, and it could make a disgusting pizza even taste good. You're supposed to eat pizza upside down, so that all this is on your taste buds. Because I am actually curious about this, because what if it does make it better?
When you licked it.
Way better. I'm not even kidding, that's way better.
Really?
Is it better that way?
It is better.
Honestly?
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's the video.
Yeah, it sure was. Thanks a lot, Chip Globson. Even though you botched your pizza tracker experiment, you really pulled it all together with that backup conspiracy, which was more of a pizza eating life hack for people who don't know how to chew their food properly. Why am I not surprised that Shane apparently puts pizza right on his tongue and swallows a whole slice like he's a seal eating a dead fish at SeaWorld? It's not a conspiracy that you're supposed to eat pizza upside down. Like, shut the up. I hate him. I don't know why, but I do. Oh, I remember why. Let's go back to the very beginning with this house tour from Teresa, his mother.
Oh, wow. I remember this haircut.
Yeah, and then there's the premiere of Shane's movie.
Oh, wow.
Shane's mom said, speaking of events that are worse than 9/11, allow me to show you some photos of important moments from my son's life. Incredible. We're getting references for The Chair and Not Cool, which became the subjects of my 2 most watched videos that helped me achieve the low to medium levels of success that I now enjoy here on the YouTube platform. And they were also the eventual catalyst for Shane experiencing the low to mid-level consequences of his past scandals, and arguably started his descent from celebrated creator to problematic YouTube villain. Indeed, The Chair and Not Cool are 2 crucial elements in both mine and Shane's origin stories here on YouTube. It's wild how the same 2 events can, for me, be like when Beethoven wrote his first symphonies as a child, and for Shane, be like when young Hitler was rejected from art school and he gave up on being a painter. Okay, school shooters, 9/11, Adolf Hitler. Yeah, I think that's probably enough historical references for one video. We should wrap this up while we're still keeping it light. The fact that Shane and his family are not desperately scrubbing any mention of his disgusting, racist, and generally offensive movie from public consciousness when it has been publicly denounced by everyone else who was involved with it just shows that Shane really doesn't feel ashamed of anything he's done in the past. Like, you're still more proud of the fact that you got to make a movie at all than you are ashamed of the fact that it was the worst movie ever made and only highlights how terrible you are at making movies. He's like, remember when big Hollywood movie studios took a chance on me? and then immediately blacklisted me from ever receiving a mainstream opportunity ever again. Like, I think the second part of that sentence says more about your legitimacy as a filmmaker than the first part, but I will save myself the trouble of explaining that to you, since I can tell from the quality of your work that you're probably not going to be great at parsing out data from a compound sentence. Every artist has work that they maybe don't look back on and love, but you can only talk about it as like something to be celebrated if you learn from it. Shane Dawson would make just as bad of a movie today, I think. Therefore, there's nothing he should be like, oh, remember when I made that piece of shit? Like, we do, and we are seeing more of it now. This is more shit, but thank you so much. What do you guys think of this pizza conspiracy? My theory on this is that Shane Dawson has really built up enough true fans, people who are willing to watch him and spend their eyeball time on him, that he'll be fine until he retires. It's a little frustrating, but I mean, I'll probably be making videos on him for as long as I can too, so tomato, I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think I'll be YouTube famous forever? Please say yes. Also, give this video a big thumbs up if you want to see even more Shane Dawson clips Plopsons like this. But most importantly, if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you click that subscribe button right over here. Some of you watch but aren't subscribed, and that's fun and fresh for you, but also stop it and just subscribe. I love that. Also, I've got merch and a Patreon where you can access exclusive benefits and virtual watch parties and other cool extras. But make sure you hit that notification bell icon. That way you'll always be the first to know when you're pizza tracking my to your door to spit in your food and give you some pizza. You guys are all the greatest. Thank you so much for getting by a bus driver on a party bus today. I will see you next time.
Hi. Did you know that you can watch Last Podcast on the Left and side stories on our Patreon right?
This week's presidential debate between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris will now officially go down as the one and only debate between the two candidates, now that Trump has stated there will be no second debate. And Trump explained this decision in a Truth Social post where he said, when a prize fighter loses a fight, the first words out of his mouth are, I want a rematch. Polls clearly showed that I won the debate against Comrade Kamala Harris, the Democrats' radical left candidate, on Tuesday night, and she immediately called for a second debate. So,
I mean, it's unclear which polls that he's referencing there, because polls by reputable polling outfits show the exact opposite of what he's claiming. And not only does it look like most people thought Harris won the debate, she also increased her election polling lead. Meanwhile, Trump's Truth Social stock, which has become essentially a roundabout way to gamble on whether Trump will win the election, plunged to a new low in the wake of the debate. It was going to do that anyway. He's getting really close to being able to sell that stuff, and so are people involved. If you're holding the bag, you deserve it. Even Trump's fellow Republicans, though, in elected office and the media don't think that he won the debate. And the more deranged Trump supporters admit that he lost, which claims it was because Harris was fed the answers beforehand, or that she was wearing Bluetooth earrings on stage, or, I don't know, fuck it, he lost because of witchcraft.
This was clearly witchcraft. It was probably those Haitians doing voodoo, which is real.
That's what Marianne Williamson said.
Voodoo is real, guys.
Old mom just crossed the Rubicon.
Yeah. But for some of the relatively less deranged members of the MAGA movement, the reason that Trump bombed at the debate was that he's been getting really close with Laura Loomer, who was spotted getting off Trump's jet that landed in Philadelphia for the debate. And we don't have the hours it would take to sift through all the Laura Loomer lore.
We touch on it a bit in the most recent episode, so if you haven't seen that yet.
Suffice to say, it is kind of insane, even by Trump standards, that this person is apparently in his inner circle and influencing his strategy. But just a few quick examples to illustrate. A few years back, a series of blatantly racist, Islamophobic, and conspiratorial social media posts got Laura Loomer banned from Uber, Lyft, PayPal, GoFundMe, Venmo, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And in response to her Twitter ban, she staged a one-woman protest in which she handcuffed herself to Twitter's New York headquarters while wearing a yellow Jewish star.
And then no one cared, and she asked the police to please
cut me out, please.
And look, that's really just scratching the surface, but Laura Loomer is such a nut job that even a lot of other MAGA influencers don't even want to associate with her. And that should say a lot. And she's also run for office multiple times and eaten shit every single time. So yeah, it's understandable that a real-life caricature of the most unhinged MAGA supporter ever, who has proven herself to be electoral poison, is someone a lot of Trump allies maybe don't want not hanging around in his orbit in the final months of the campaign. But with more on that, here's Semaphore on Wednesday.
She was on the plane with him the day of the debate and on the ground with him the morning after. Some Republicans are worried she had something to do with what happened in between. Laura Loomer, the right-wing agitator known for egging on Donald Trump's most inflammatory instincts, has been regularly popping up around the former president. After a debate in which Trump shouted about false viral rumors of pet-eating Haitians in an Ohio town, her potential influence is drawing more scrutiny from both parties.
One person close to the Trump campaign said they were 100% concerned about her exacerbating Trump's weaknesses. Regardless of any guardrails the Trump campaign has put on her, I don't think it's working, the person said. Loomer has long been a presence in Trump's orbit, much to the chagrin of some of his allies inside and outside the campaign. Last year, the New York Times reported Trump ordered his staff to give her a formal campaign role, only to drop the idea after fierce pushback from Republicans. Trump lost the debate because of his performance or lack thereof. Dennis Lennox, a Republican consultant, said, "That's what happens when you wing it, live in the Fox News X bubble, and rely on Matt Gaetz, let alone Laura Loomer." Even by the standards of the extended MAGA universe in 2024, Loomer has stood out as an extreme figure. She has called herself pro-white nationalism and described America as a white Judeo-Christian ethno-state destroyed by diversity. After Representative Sheila Jackson Lee, a prominent member of the Congressional Black Caucus, died of cancer in July, Loomer posted online that she was a, quote, ghetto bitch and suggested she was, quote, going to hell.
Also, according to Axios, on the plane ride to the debate, Loomer was the one specifically egging on Trump to talk about Haitians eating people's pets on stage. So, yeah, the possibility of her having an influential role in a second Trump administration should be alarming to everyone. But perhaps, fortunately, her presence on the campaign trail doesn't seem to be helping Trump's chances all that much. So a lot of Republicans don't want her flying around on that plane with their impressionable, easily influenced God Emperor.
Who is very smart, the smartest president, my president, very smart, and would never fall for anything like this, but please stop talking to him.
My 79-year-old president has fallen in with bad crowd. And he's giving into peer pressure.
Despite being a genius, keeps listening to the dumbest people on earth and repeating their lies.
I mean, can you blame him when a beautiful young woman starts telling you things? I mean, he can't help himself when a gorgeous, attractive,
speaking of witchcraft,
a real foxy lady comes along.
She looks like someone put a curse on her.
Yeah, she is 31 years old and
a little too much Eye of Newt.
Just too much fucking surgery. Like, she got addicted to
early on,
like lip fillers and buccal fat removal, and just she got all of it. And the end result is that she looks like 15 to 20 years older than she actually is. So, yeah, great job there. But anyway, this all brings us to the heartwarming news that the worst people you know are fighting. You might think that Laura Loomer and Marjorie Taylor Greene would get along like peas in a pod, given their shared politics and shared interests in being loud, annoying, unhinged, and racist. But no. Apparently these women fucking hate each other.
And they used to be besties.
I know.
It's you hate to see a friendship crumble like that.
This kicked off the day after the debate when MTG decided to go after Loomer for a 3-day-old tweet where she wrote, "If Kamala Harris wins, the White House will smell like curry and White House speeches will be facilitated via a call center, and the American people will only be able to convey their feedback through a customer satisfaction survey at the end of the call that nobody will understand."
Again, it's shocking how blatant the racism has become. And you know who had a similar quote to this recently? The other worst person you know, Ronald Radke, that weirdo singer who...
Well, luckily Ronnie Radke is someone no one actually knows about unless you're already involved in like the emo hardcore scene and have been following
metalcore first of all.
Okay, whatever, who cares? But the average person doesn't know who he is, and thank goodness, because yeah, he sucks too. Also, he killed a guy.
I don't even want to get into it, but he was like an accessory to it.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, you would think that kind of mask-off racism would be music to MTG's ears. I mean, she's played that song before.
Yeah.
But no, she said, "This is appalling and extremely racist. It does not represent who we are as Republicans or MAGA. This does not represent President Trump. This type of behavior should not be tolerated ever. Laura Loomer should take this down." And she followed that up with a long post explaining that she and Loomer had once been friends, and MTG had supported Loomer in her multiple failed congressional bids and advocated for her Twitter account to be unbanned. But Loomer had turned around and shit-talked and lied about her, that bitch. And this really really seemed to set Laura Loomer off, resulting in a long string of tweets over the next few hours, which adds up to so much text that we cannot read them in full. But these highlights should get the point across.
It's an insane amount of posting. And just in general, like, she posts a lot. Anytime I feel like I have a problem, I'm checking Twitter too much, I just look at any of these, like, MAGA influencers' feeds, and I'm like, all right, I'm actually doing all right. That's good. There you go. Hey, MTG, speaking of racism, one of your former staffers told me you have a favorite word that starts with N. What if the staffer has a video? It's rather ironic that MTG wants to call me a racist when MTG is a full-blown anti-Semite who believes that Jewish people use space lasers to control the world. Along with being an anti-Semite, MTG is also a poor excuse for a Christian. Her marriage failed because she couldn't keep her legs closed while she was a new member of Congress and was too busy screwing some guy from her CrossFit. I exposed you months ago, and I'll do it again, you trailer trash harpy. Wow.
The girls are fighting. Let them fight.
Girls are fighting.
Next up, it's really funny how Marjorie Taylor Greene, a raging anti-Semite who said Jews use space lasers to control the world, wants to pretend like I'm a racist because I made a funny joke about Kamala Harris making cooking videos and buying curry spice at an anti-Trump spice shop. And I mocked how she uses her Indian mom as a way to dodge questions. I won't be apologizing for having a sense of humor. I also believe in free speech, Marjorie, which you clearly don't support. I get it. You're jealous of me because despite your planted hit pieces about me in the New York Times, I won. Get over it.
Wow. Hey, Marjorie Taylor Greene, remember when you destroyed your family so you could have sex with a Zangief cosplayer? Tell me again how you and the Arby's in your pants are representatives of the GOP.
I just had the same reaction as that girl who saw Ted Cruz at a college football game. Who threw up in her mouth.
The Arby's in your pants is so fucking gross.
Foul.
This person is sitting next to Trump on the plane. You couldn't even run your own family. Don't tell me how to run my free speech.
I do want to point out the earlier quote about there being a video of potentially Marjorie Taylor Greene saying the N-word. Like,
they probably
maybe, but that, if the claim is true, they're just holding on to a bunch of compromat.
Right.
That's how on each other, yeah.
They're cool with it, but they'll use it when it becomes
they need
useful.
Next up, MTG is two-faced. She used to call me begging me to write her one-liners so she could read in Congress about Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib. And now she's acting like a lefty, calling me a racist over a funny joke. This is a woman who has no conviction. Like a hooker, she sells herself to the highest bidder. The highest bidder in her case was Speaker McCarthy. Now she's irrelevant and she's lashing out because she is jealous.
MTG is the most miserable, lying bitch in Congress, and we need to inform more MAGA patriots of how treacherous this woman is. Why did she take a month-long vacation right after Trump was shot? And why did she lie about releasing the J6 tapes, only to say we shouldn't for the sake of protecting the security of the Capitol? Why does MTG continue to support and work with Kevin McCarthy, who is openly working to sabotage Donald Trump? Why doesn't she ever speak out about Fani Willis and voter fraud in Georgia? We know why. MTG planted a hit piece against me when I was hired by Trump in March of 2023, only to have that sabotaged when MTG worked with Maggie Haberman to plant a hit piece against me. And now she's doing it again because she wants to sabotage Trump because she wasn't picked as VP.
And by this point, it's Thursday
Can you
morning.
imagine if she was VP? I don't think that was ever in the cards.
Things I could never imagine have happened in the past couple of months. Some good, some bad. And I'm not, there's no more fantasy here. This is dangerous, and we, as American citizens, have to vote against anything.
But I can see, like, there is, an argument does exist for J.D. Vance. Like, he's younger, he
chose the party line.
He wrote that book that Ron Howard made into a movie. Like, there is the possibility for, cross-cultural appeal for him until he starts talking.
Yeah.
But MTG doesn't have any. She is one of the most alienating people he could possibly pick as VP. So, it is funny that according to Laura Loomer, she was really gunning for that job.
At this point, like I said, it's Thursday morning, and MTG still hasn't responded to the wall of text. So the reporters over on Capitol Hill decided to ask MTG about it directly. So MTG got into character as a sensitive, moderate Republican who's just sick of all this divisiveness
Come on,
and hatred.
guys.
to me, many of the comments that she makes and how she attacks Republicans like me, many other Republicans that are strong supporters of President Trump, I think they're a huge problem. And that doesn't represent MAGA as a whole. It doesn't represent who we are as Republicans. And, you know, I typically try to ignore her posts, but someone had sent me that post about Kamala Harris, and it bothered me so much. And you know my personality. Everyone knows I'm outspoken, and I just felt like it was time to call it out. I think it's wrong. We're not a party of identity politics. We're a party for all Americans. And I think that's so important. And I think that we need to be focused on our policies, the inflation, the economy, and the border, and not attacking people for their race, not attacking them because they may not have children and they love their pets. And I don't want to have anything to do with that. And neither do the people, my voters at home in my district, and most people I talk to across the country. And so, yeah, I called her out last night, and I think it was important to do.
And wow, she almost comes off as normal there. You could almost forget that she herself is guilty of everything that she's accusing Laura Loomer of. Anyway,
we're looking for the guy responsible. Wow.
Not only falling out with Laura Loomer, falling out with Lauren Boebert.
That happened a while ago.
I know, but all of the very deeply MAGA crowd.
These GOP ladies, they all want to be the queen bee.
And eventually, Matt Gaetz' time will come. Because there's still, that's not a closed case.
Yeah, I saw something about potentially some stuff getting unsealed, but I'll believe it when I see it.
And then the other character involved in all this, who is just as bad, Stephen Miller, who did get called out by an Argentinian, he got called out by a news reporter, Venezuelan or Argentinian.
Okay.
Because he was there too. He was part of the crew with Trump.
Oh, cool. Yeah, we love Stephen, Los Angeles' own Stephen Miller.
Whose own family hates him.
Yeah.
Anyways, as you guessed by now, Laura Loomer was not about to let that bitch get the last word.
While you were busy having sexual affairs, cheating on your husband and getting divorced, and propping up Kevin McCarthy and engaging in insider trading in Congress, I broke many of the stories regarding the weaponized lawfare against President Trump. I traveled to the Darien Gap to expose the invasion firsthand and captured illegal aliens on camera who pledged to vote for Democrats. I took down Ron DeSantis and defended Donald Trump from all of the backstabbers who tried to defeat him in the primary. I have done all of the heavy lifting while you've been writing books and attacking Trump's closest allies in an effort to elevate yourself. You've been telling voters in Georgia that Donald Trump is not going to win the election, and so you think it's best to forge an alliance with Kamala Harris. You haven't done anything to help Trump. You wrote a book and took a month-long vacation while I have been working 24/7 to support Trump. A lot of things in there. Okay, accusing her of insider trading, which, like, yeah, probably true, but I assume they're all up to that to some degree.
Yeah. In the previous thing, mentioning at least rubbing up against the theory that is out there that maybe MTG was in some way involved in some January 6th planning. Not directly referencing it, but getting pretty close. Why would she hide those tapes kind of thing? So a lot of accusations there, and a lot of just blatant exposing.
Also saying, like, Marjorie Taylor Greene's definitely telling voters that they should form an alliance with Kamala Harris. That's definitely something she would do.
Yeah. So following a post by MTG where she praised the MAGA movement's kind, loving, and welcoming spirit, and said that Laura Loomer's nasty, racist, and divisive rhetoric should not be tolerated.
Who are you kidding?
Loomer hit back with, you accused Jews of using space lasers to control the world, and you called the former executive director of Black Voices for Trump, Harrison Floyd, the N-word, according to him. You are attacking Donald Trump and his strongest supporters ahead of the election because you are jealous you were not at the debate. Everyone can see through you. You call black men the N-word. Who are you to be accusing anyone of being a racist? Again, let them fight.
Yeah. These people both can go straight to hell. And
if any of this is true, they've been sitting on stuff.
Yeah, both of these people are terrible. I'm sorry. Neither of these winners. There's no winners. We are the winners. Because they're directing their energy at each other and not anywhere else.
The one advantage, I guess, if there is any at all, is that Laura Loomer is not an elected official, and she puts all of her most vitriolic racism out there openly.
Well, yeah, definitely. She's not electable. She's tried that multiple times. It hasn't worked.
Failed.
But
Even Margaret Taylor Greene was like, she said that she tried to help her get elected.
Yeah.
And it didn't work, and she gave her advice, and she didn't follow it.
But I mean, there is a possibility she ends up. I mean, there's not a lot. If Trump wins, there's not a lot of people left able to fill all those roles, because everyone who he's ever hired ends up hating him after like 3 months. So Laura Loomer, which cabinet position do you want?
It is
housing and urban development.
It is horrifying to think that a Trump administration would at the very least consist of Donald Trump, Stephen Miller, Matt Gaetz, Laura Loomer, and just run down the rest of the list. Mike Lee,
Mike Lindell.
Mike Lindell, yeah. Elon Musk,
Secretary of Pillows, yeah. Director of Government Efficiency, Doge. Yeah, it's I mean,
Director of Inseminating Celebrities.
They are giving me new reasons and new senses of urgency every day for how fucked up it'll be. They are good. They're doing a great job scaring the shit out of me.
They are motivating voters.
Yeah.
Not exactly the motivation that they think they're doing, but they are definitely motivating voters.
Like my enthusiasm for Harris is really just baseline level.
Yeah.
My enthusiasm for Trump not being president again is sky high.
Yeah.
And getting higher. So great job. Thank you, everyone. But yeah, as of when we're putting this episode together, the back and forth has continued between these two lovely, beautiful women. Though it's just rehashing the same shit that you just heard. Yeah. They're same talking points back and forth. Two of Donald Trump's most prominent and most unhinged loyal supporters absolutely cannot stand each other and are duking it out for all the world to see. And we think that's beautiful.
I know.
Especially this close to the election.
Especially when early voting starts like in a week.
Yeah.
So keep it up right now. It's a great time to A, attack Taylor Swift fans, B, attack each other publicly on the timeline, and C, keep nosediving in public events. Because he has not stopped referencing all the things that people found detestable during the debate in his follow-up rallies.
Well, because the fans love it. Woo! He's doing it. This one's for the fans. A lot of people didn't like this, but this one's for the fans.
He, he does play the greatest hits, and now he has some new hit songs that he can play for his base. And
YouTube Africa doing. Hey guys, Deco here, and welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. We're back here. We're on some more XDefiant. Currently, it's the last full day of the double XP weekend here. I was really hoping to get more weapons than I did get completed, but at the same point, I'm not actually mad with my progression. We ended up finishing out the M870. We got the AA12 done, and I'm almost like, we're over halfway with the double barrel. I'll probably have this one done by the end of today. But since I've been using shotguns for the last like 3 videos now, I kind of want to just switch it up just for this video. And we're going to be swapping over to something I haven't been using too much. And that's going to be the sniper rifles. Now, when it comes to the snipers, you can clearly see what one's my favorite. I actually used a fair bit of the L115 when it first dropped just because it was the new weapon, but even though it's technically got more one-hit potential than the M44, I still found myself getting too many hit markers, so I just kind of went with the TAC 50 naturally. It's slower, but I mean, I'm not phase scope over here. I ain't getting freaking montage feeds, or I just want something that's pretty decent and consistent, which also kind of plays into what's going to be happening coming up here with the snipers as well. They're getting a buff at the start of season 2 because they're reducing the flinch, but that's only temporary until they actually implement the new feature being distance-based flinch. Do people go fast mag or extended mag? Probably extended, right? Minus 10% ADS speed. This one's just movement speed. But also real quick, I just want to say thank you guys so much for the love and support in the past couple of videos. If you guys are actually new to the channel and have been watching for a while, you just haven't already, consider subscribing. We upload pretty much every single day. I've been pretty damn consistent. But like I was saying, I actually think it was Aches, not Mark Rubin, that ended up posting over on Twitter. I think it was like a response to somebody. Okay, so yeah, it was a response to somebody. That's somebody being Phase Scope. There's a clip of Phase Scope here reacting to how Sniper Flinch is currently in XDefiant. It's pretty insane. But Aches ended up actually responding here, Mr. Patty P, and he said in season 2 they're gonna go back with it a little bit. It shouldn't be as aggressive, and then later on they're gonna be switching flinch to be distant base. Depending on how far away they are when they shoot you will determine how much flinch you receive. Now this will actually be nice because one of the things I have noticed whenever I've just picked up a sniper as of recently, because keep in mind I'm not really like a main sniper in XDefiant. I like to bitch and moan and call him OP whenever I die to him just because it's annoying, but I mean, as you guys saw in the clip, like the flinch is insane. But I have noticed a few times that I go ahead and I pick a sniper off the body of like an enemy for whatever reason. Sometimes I'm just feeling a little Jack Spadicy with it. That the flinch can be kind of stupid, especially whenever you're getting cross mapped by like a pistol or even a shotgun at range and it's giving you full flinch. It's kind of silly. Dude, if I would have hit him with a TikTok 360, baby boy, brother man would have been put in a little bit of a blender. I was like the longest hard scope, drag scope. No one ever said I was good at sniping. Sniping is one of those things where it's like when you get in the flow, you get in the flow though. Like, dude, that is insane. The dude wasn't even aiming at me. I just got hit by a stray bullet and I flinched straight up to the sky. Ooh, a little bit of a clash. A two-piece chicken nugget. Obviously, the sniper is kind of getting like a little bit of a buff at the start of season 2 is gonna have some people upset. Just because, like I said, I know dying to snipers is absolutely annoying, but they are kind of in like a feast or famine state right now where if you're able to get the shot off, yeah, you know, it's a one-shot kill. But if you get even dinked a little bit, you're just dead. You're just, it's G freaking G. Sometimes you can get blessed by the RNG of the flinch and it'll still like hit the target, but that is insane. Like that one kill that I got there was literally only because the flinch happened to hit the target still. It's just, it's so ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, I don't care what anybody says. Snipers are not OP right now. If you actually think snipers are OP still, in the current state that they are in, you are literally coping and seething. Just an absolutely disgusting performance. Like, speaking of disgusting performances, that Sean O'Malley fight last night, that shit was insane. By insane, I mean absolutely boring. Dude literally just got hugged and kissed. The sheer disrespect is absolutely insane on that fight. Brad literally pinned Sean O'Malley down, punched over, started kissing him on the back. I mean, I'd be so embarrassed about Sean O'Malley right now. It's just like, what's her name had that freaking gnarly cut too. Absolute massive gash on the forehead. It's actually probably the nastiest cut I've ever seen in UFC. I saw like after the fight when they were like examining and they were like spreading it like cheeks, dude. Like, that's leaving a massive scar. There's just no way that doesn't leave a big ass scar. I mean, I took off muzzle booster and I added reinforced stock, so let's see how much 25% flinch reduction actually helps. Freaking Frodo Baggins there, goddamn hobby, crouched my shot. Let me try switching up the scope. I usually don't like to switch up the scopes on the sniper skins just because you don't actually get to have the skin carry over to the other scope, so it just makes the skins look weird. I mean, this scope's already feeling better. I'm over dying to shotguns. You can't beat them, join them. Sniping is so bad in the game right now. I don't care what anybody says, shotguns are actually OP in the game. They need to be nerfed. They need to be adjusted purely for the skill to reward ratio. It takes no skill to use a shotgun. They're super forgiving. It's just the nature of a shotgun. It's also the double barrel. Granted, it's just got a lot more range than the other shotguns, but the M870 and the AA12 are both just as nasty. But anyways, I'm probably gonna go ahead and try and hop over on stream and grind out a little bit. Twitch.tv/decoy. Please link down in the description, brother man. Really want to get my double barrel shotgun done today. Maybe try working on the snipers a little bit. Actually scratch that. I'll probably just go to the marksman rifles and wait for season 2 when they get buffed. No point in putting myself through all that flinch right now. It's like something else I keep forgetting too is you've got these like community challenges through the Ubisoft app, and I literally get bonus tokens. Like there's a battle pass token. Why did that tilt sideways? Weapon XP. Why is it tilting sideways? Another battle pass. I'm just gonna spam claim. I'm literally just gonna spam claim. I have so many to collect. But if I get 100 kills with an SMG and then 50 kills with a marksman rifle, I'll have 2 more weapon XP tokens, which are definitely gonna be good to stack up because we're getting more mastery camos, plus, you know, obviously new weapons in season 2 here. So having double XP on weapons is definitely gonna be nice. And actually, how many tokens am I at? Just out of curiosity. I'm at, yeah, I mean, we're stacked. We're loaded. We're good. Same with the battle pass tokens. I'll hopefully be able to get that done pretty quick too. But yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Like I said, we're gonna hop over on stream. I'm gonna grind a little bit. If you guys are watching this late and I'm not live anymore, consider dropping the follow and turning notifications on because I do stream daily. But anyways, plug aside. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to drop a like, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Deuces.
If I had to sum up today's entire video in a single word, it would be overblown. You know, I never thought I would say this, but maybe we shouldn't eat the rich, because clearly they have no taste. And you know, from mid-McMansions to designer dumbness, laughing at rich people on the internet has certainly become an art form and an of itself. And if there's one place that represents the ultimate collection of things that the average person could never afford and would probably never want to wear, it's the VMAs. They just took place last week, and I don't know what's worse, the atrocious outfits or the multiple controversies that people got into, which prove that people on the internet will be mad about literally anything. But first, welcome. My name is D'Angelo, and I am your professor of Judiciary Jazz Studies, which is a very real degree that I definitely do have. Or maybe this is just me broadcasting myself talking in my room like YouTube used to be. And in today's lecture, we will be not only grading the worst outfits you've ever seen at the VMAs, but also the dumbest controversies involving everything from Chaperone yelling at a photographer to people unironically being mad at Taylor Swift's producer for wearing protective earplugs. As you can imagine, when you assemble everyone from Lil Nas X to Sabrina Carpenter in one room, there's bound to be a lot of fun and a bit of nonsense. Now, I should probably start with a disclaimer about how I'm not a fashion expert and, you know, I'm not here to judge people, but I am a fashion expert and I am here to judge people, so I don't know what to tell you. My only two jobs in life are being correct and looking good literally all the time. It's a difficult job for some people, probably. All right, Vogue, see all of the 2024 VMAs red carpet fashion outfits and looks. All right, so first up we have Sabrina Carpenter. 2024 has definitely been her year, and I actually think that this red carpet look is the perfect one to start off with because I'm going to give it a B. In my scale that I just now made up, a B is an outfit that looks nice. You fast, it was more than the bare minimum, and it's working for you. Okay, now we have Chaperone, who appears to have brought an actual sword to an award ceremony. This is an A. The only thing I like more than people doing weird things is when people do weird things confidently. The chainmail gloves with like the claw nails, it all just makes sense in a way that I really appreciate. Taylor Swift. Maybe the angle is not doing her justice. Okay. Unfortunately, I think this is going to be my first C. I understand the various elements of it. I almost feel like they can be appreciated separately, but together, I'm not quite sure. She looks like a Jane Austen character who's been trapped in a Hot Topic, like the emo store from the mall, but this is lukewarm Topic at most. She still looks good though. Like, to be clear, any comments I have on someone's clothes in this video are not comments on their actual physical appearance. Obviously, only rich and extremely conventionally attractive people have been allowed into this event, but sometimes rich and conventionally attractive people wear really weird clothes. Tyla. Oh, okay. First off, I'm not sure why they made the necklace the exact same color as Scooby-Doo's dog collar. And as for the dress, I feel like I need to offer it my thoughts and prayers. It's clearly lost its life in a terrible battle against a paper shredder. Anyway, I guess I'll give this one a C. Obviously, if you can wear what essentially appears to be a ball of yarn and still look good, you must be doing something right. Megan Thee Stallion. Okay, wait, it's kind of hard to tell against the black background, but like, how does she like walk in that? This may come as a surprise to some of you, but I think I'm actually gonna give this a B. I know, it's a weird outfit, it really is, but is it crazy of me to say that it kind of makes sense? Camila Cabello. She's kind of giving like Nun from a horror movie. Hot Topic, but this time the topic is our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I'll give her a B though. I actually think it looks pretty cool. Alessandra Ambrosio. I mean, I like the color. I say C. Lil Nas X. Yes, I'm giving this an A. Listen, you do not understand the depths of my hatred for men's fashion. The amount of red carpet looks for men that are just like a suit or a suit with extra steps. When you literally have the ability to wear anything, I don't care that he looks like a Power Ranger. I would take this over a suit any day. For a second though, I thought this was AI generated because I was like, what does this say? RM Bob. And then I realized it's like, oh, Dream Boy. But nah, from the nails to the color, I like it. I don't have to justify it. I got to see the shoes though. Oh my, they're even goofier. Yeah, this is fantastic. I love it. Got our second A. Orlando Bloom and Katy Perry, who was also sadly a victim of the paper shredder. Okay, is it just me or is this kind of really unappealing? I am actually tempted to give this a D. I think I hate it actually. It's not even about Katy Perry. Something about the construction of this just makes me viscerally uncomfortable. Also, I've wondered this ever since I saw it for the very first time. Can somebody explain to me what's with the wet hair trend? Like, you've got Megan Fox with the wet hair look. I think Kim K is a big fan. I'm not even saying it looks bad. I just genuinely don't understand it. All right, next we've got Tate McRae. I suppose? I don't know if this makes sense, but I feel like it just needs something else. Not even that what she has going on isn't working. I just feel like I don't know what the something else is though. Like, what do you think would make this feel a little bit more complete? Personally, I'm thinking those crazy boots from that one episode of SpongeBob. Just get like a little bit of this action going. But as is, I guess I would give it, I don't know, a C. She appears to be referencing one of Britney Spears' past VMAs looks, but I think the color and the pattern on Britney's look adds that missing piece. Whereas here, it's just kind of like, okay, you look great. Now what? The Kid Leroy, you get an F. You get an F, period. You fail. You don't even look bad. I'm just tired. I'm tired, okay? The boring outfits have to end. I think being boring is a greater sin than looking bad. And these people will never look bad. That's the thing. Why are people so afraid of trying things? At most, you're just gonna look kind of goofy. Tinashe. Okay, I really wish they had chosen like a different color for the floor and the backdrop. Some of these outfits are so hard to actually see, but from what I can see, it appears the paper shredder has gotten Miss Tinashe as well. I think I'll give this one a B though. I think it's a cool look. It's just kind of, I don't know. Addison Rae. What? I mean, if she likes it, I love it, I guess. I'm very confused by so many individual elements of this. I would give this a D, but here's the thing. Something about her presentation of this outfit makes me want to bump it up a little. Like in this picture, no, that's a D. The armpit flowers are crazy. But then in this one, I get it, right? It's goofy. She's being goofy. So I'm just gonna give it a C. Jack Antonoff and Margaret Qualley. I like how even Vogue magazine is like Margaret Qualley and Chanel and Jack Antonoff. Individually, I don't think this would bode well for either of them, but collectively, I suppose I can give them a D. Shawn Mendes, you get an F. I'm sorry. It's not even your fault. Like, it's not even you. It's all of us. Stop wearing basic suits to award shows. It's not a flex to look good in a suit, okay? Also, geez, dude, they really needed a better backdrop. His legs are in like the shadow realm. Suki Waterhouse. Why did Vogue post this blurry picture? Yeah, they want to reshoot? Anyways, I don't know about this one. It's not bad. Maybe I'll just give it a C. Nikki Rothschild. I understand the vision. I just feel like they could have gone harder. I'm gonna give it a C. DeMarcus, just go home. Go home. F. When I said don't wear a suit, I didn't mean wear a polo. Glorilla. All right, y'all. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna give this an A. I'm sorry, I just don't care. I love it. I understand that reference, right? She's got the TLC hair. It looks like she just stepped off a runway in Whoville. The pants are like an optical illusion. It's an A. Big Sean. You know how they say go big or go home? Go home. Go home, Sean. Go home. Paris Hilton, not the paper shredder. No. Shaq, can we get an F for another victim of the paper shredder? In a way, though, I kind of like it here. It sort of has like a post-apocalyptic fashion show vibe. I think I'm going to give it a B. Something about the material being so fun while also having the ripped look is just kind of neat. Aira Star. I mean, yeah, I think she looks nice. The color is really, really cool. I'm going to give this one a B as well. And now for a brief intermission to talk about one of the dumbest dramas you've ever heard of in your entire life. Tyla addresses online backlash after asking for help during her 2024 VMAs speech. So Tyla actually won at the VMAs, which is pretty awesome. And her acceptance speech resulted in this moment.
You guys know me and holding awards. I'm not strong enough. Yes, please. Oh, yeah, but over me. Yes, thank you. I'm sorry.
And then people were upset by this. I do not understand how this was offensive in any way. If anything, I thought it was just silly. If anything, this is one of my new favorite celebrity pictures. Tyler's like, please, just take it. Lil Nas X is like, okay, say less, I guess. Tyler's just like, yeah, I'm here too. People were acting like she was being rude, but but if anything, it's really obvious what happened here. So Lil Nas X hands her the award, and then Halle tries to hand her the envelope, but she doesn't want to hold the award with one hand, so she just hands it off. Why'd she do my girl Halle like that? She didn't even acknowledge Halle. Making Lil Nas X carry it is crazy. Oh, what the heck, Tyler? I even saw people trying to spin this into xenophobia. Hey, I don't think I like Tyler's personality. I think someone needs to check her because she doesn't understand American culture at all. She almost gives off entitled or uppity African. I don't know how to explain it, but it's very off-putting, and it's almost like she expects people to just fall to her feet. I can explain it for you. You are unhinged. After that tweet started circulating, though, Tyler did change her Twitter bio to entitled uppity African for a second, which I think is pretty amazing. And she put out a statement saying, y'all make everything weird. I was not asking my girl Halle to hold the trophy. We just girls. Shush, I want a BMA. To which Halle responded, exactly. Love you, babes. Congrats. I'm sorry, but to pretend to be upset over this is actually legitimately crazy to me. Especially since,
It's so heavy, I literally have no upper body strength. Thank you.
I didn't see anybody getting mad at Olivia Rodrigo for doing the same thing. Y'all are kind of weird. You're kind of weird. Anyways, bad outfits. Slow Millie. I'm gonna give this a B. I like it a lot. I think she looks really nice. I feel like something else could really have pushed it, but as is, this is a great red carpet fit. Ashley Johnson. I like the denim bag. Something about this whole fit is kind of giving early 2000s vibes. I'm gonna give it a B. Carrie Colby, the safety pin holding the bra together for dear life. I say C. Vincent Boone. Okay, now here's the thing. I know I'm supposed to be hyping him up because he's got like the flowers and the sheer and you know, but the truth of the matter is, I find this to be kind of old. Like been there, done that. Like you got Shawn Mendes with the see-through top. I remember Cody Fern doing this in 2019. I think it was cool in 2019, but now I'm just like, okay, at least you did not do the bare minimum, but this is starting to get old. I'm gonna give him a C for now, but you better watch out, Benson Boone. Sierra Gates. Whoa. Okay, wow. The double denim waistband is crazy. I like this. I'm gonna give it a B for uniqueness and because I think she's pulling it off. Kirk Frost and Rashida. I suppose. I give it a C and move on. T.S. Madison. By itself with the dress, I would give it a C, but the butterfly space buns are so pretty. I'm actually just gonna bump it up to a B. Whoa, Jay. No. You really thought you were gonna bedazzle the tie and I wasn't gonna clown you? I like the tie. I'm glad you bedazzled it, but you should have done more. Bambi. Dolce & Gabbana out here just mashing up Target swimwear collection with the tool section at the fabric store. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna have to give them a D for this. Yo Gotti. Y'all gotta try harder is what you gotta do. I'm sorry, but this is an F. Angela Simmons. She looks like Mayor Pauline from Mario? But I have to be honest, as good as this person looks, I want to say Pauline wore it better. I got this one like a C+. Flavor Flav, and I don't even just, no, go home. F. Jordan Childs. This is different. The weirdest thing is I like it though. I think I'm gonna give it a B. Something about it doesn't push it into A territory, but I feel like I can see what they were going for. And either way, she definitely pulled it off. No Scrappy. My brother in Christ, clean your glasses. These Ray-Bans are struggling. Anyways, F, I'm not playing with y'all. I'm not even gonna open you in a new tab. F. Christian and Brittany Breslauer. Collective D. Teddy Swims. I am actually tempted to give this an A. I would have to see more of what's going on here. Okay, the nails are nailing. I like this cohesive color scheme he's got going on. The glasses, nails, jewels. He has an interesting silhouette where it's kind of like, I can't tell if it's a skirt or pants. It's a very mysterious VMA's look. Also, he just looks really happy in all of these pictures, which I think is helping a lot. He's really out there just being goofy, you know, goofing it up. I'm gonna give this an A. Great job, Mr. Swims. All right, Mona Scott Young is wearing the Lorax. Oh no, what have they done? I think I'm gonna give that one a C. Mona Leo, kind of giving prom a little bit. I might also give that a C. Jesse Murph. I'd give it a D, but I like the lollipop, so that's a C. Amelia de Moldenberg. This dress is like confusing in a way, but I like it. It kind of gives like abstract art or optical illusion, like someone has deconstructed the idea of the little black dress. Would it be weird to say that I feel like this look is missing a necklace. I'm gonna give it a B though. Ha Yun Jin, I don't know what the point of this picture is when you can't see her full outfit. Okay, there we go. These outfits are definitely outfitting, you know, I'll give it a B. And now Dumb Drama Break Part 2. People are mad at Chapel Roan again because she yelled shut the F up at a photographer. To be fair though, you can hear this photographer say the same thing first very loudly. I like her music, but she gives the impression this is all bothering her. Why even go? I don't even care much for her or her music, but with each passing update, I'm getting more and more edgelord vibes from her. I like her, but I feel, oh, we ain't finna read all that. She's praised for being real and unfiltered, but is actually coming across rudely. Even if the photographer was being rude, I don't see yelling at him as a you go girl moment. I think Chapel Roan was being rude, obviously. There's not a nice way of telling someone to shut up, but am I supposed to be mad at her for being rude to someone who was being rude? I wonder. I'm not. I don't know who that photographer was talking to, but to say shut the F up loudly enough to be picked up by red carpet cameras in front of all these people, I honestly think no, you shut up is a very valid response. People seem really obsessed with the idea that celebrities should handle everything with grace all the time, 24/7, no matter how rude or strange or awful people are being. And I am not here for it.
This is quite overwhelming and quite scary for someone who gets a lot of anxiety around people yelling at you. The carpet is horrifying, and I yelled back. I yelled back. You don't get to yell at me like that.
Y'all got to stop placing celebrities and other people in these situations where there is no correct way of responding and then proceeding to get mad at said celebrities for not responding correctly. But that's just my opinion. Halle Bailey. Oof, the paper shredder strikes again. I'm gonna give this a B. Giselle Zanotti. It looks like she came from the same convent as Camila Cabello. I don't know what this aesthetic is that appears to be emerging, but I'm not mad at it. I'll give it a C though, because I feel like more could have been done. Joyner Lucas, go join everybody in the corner of shame. Y'all are legitimately not even trying at this point. Doechii, I like this. It's very Umbrella Academy, very like British school child. I think the only thing I don't love about it is it's kind of stiff. Obviously that fits the aesthetic, but you know, I'm gonna give it a B though. Halsey is clearly starring in the next live action Flintstones movie. I like the colors, so I'm gonna give this a C. Anita, I need an explanation for this one. I'm gonna give it a C. Alejandra Espinosa, she said the carpet's not red this time around. I'm going to wear the red carpet. I'll give her a C. Oh, here we go. Les Seraphim. I already reacted to this. Laura Whitmore. You know, this is kind of giving like Hunger Games capital fashion. I like the color quite a bit. I think I'm gonna give it a B-. Cyndi Lauper. I'm gonna give her an A because it's Cyndi Lauper. Like, what do you mean? Truly the blueprint for a lot of what's going on nowadays. French Montana. I swear to God, I've seen this exact blazer on Amazon.com. D-. Laura Jar. I actually really like this outfit, but not for here. I think this is really dope as streetwear, but on the red carpet, it's just kind of like, bro, what, are you lost? Good fit, maybe not a great VMAs fit. So I'm just going to give it like a D. Naomi Scott. I mean, yeah. C. Miranda Lambert. I like the teal, actually. This is such a country look. Like, just growing up in Texas, I feel like I saw some variation of this every day. I mean, it was Texas, so it was a little more churchy than this, but she looks nice. I'll give her a C. Sasha Colby. C by itself. C plus for the hair, though. This is very fun. Kind of looks like fruit roll-up. Carter Gregory. No. Like, yes for you, but no for here. Now, you know, Dana Paola. You know, weirdly, I kind of like the juxtaposition of this bright yellow, whatever that is, with the black dress. Not the craziest thing I've ever seen, but I'll give it a C. Shabuzi, no, go home. Quavo, go home. F. Tiago, PZK. I see what you were doing with the asymmetry, but stop doing it. Hugo Gloss. All right. So you tried to add some drape because you took this and you extended it, but then you still stuck the most boring blazer of all time over top of it. I'm not going to give him an F, but this is like a barely passing C-. I think like the shirt and the way it's draped is really cool, but the blazer. Whoa. Coco Jones. This is really cool. I mean, yes, paper shredder, but it kind of looks like she's wearing smoke. I think I'm gonna give this an A. This is just a really sick dress. Les Twins. No. F. DJ Khaled. Another F. Money Long. I like the color a lot. The necklaces are crazy. I don't know. I give it a C. Ashley Gill and Grant Gibbs. I suppose. Very like 90s. I'll give them a collective C. Daniel Jules J. Smith Jr. No. Peppermint. Not the most interesting outfit I've ever seen. I'll give her a C. Summer Walker will be joining Halsey in the live-action Flintstones movie. Also, is that a cigarette? Because that's actually crazy. Like on the red carpet. I don't know. C. Purse is fun. The Villarreal Vélez sisters. I like the coordination. Definitely nothing I haven't seen before. I'll give them a B. And Lola Burke. This isn't even Shredder. She like, do y'all remember Silly String? We are out here wearing Silly String to the VMAs. Wild, I tell you. Okay, more outrage. Jack Antonoff putting AirPods in during Katy Perry's performance. Such loser behavior. And here we can see Jack Antonoff to the left, placing something in his ears. We've got Taylor Swift in the middle. He's often her producer. And so yeah, he released an apology on Twitter. A joking apology, like it wasn't serious. Because as he pointed out, they were earplugs. I do believe this was a very important and pressing issue that needed to be exposed. I'm sorry to those I let down, and today I will not be going to work and instead thinking about my earplug use and everyone that's been affected by it. Don't you think there are enough things in the world to legitimately be angry about? Like, do we have to make it a controversy that you saw a video of someone placing something into their ears during a concert? I'm very, very glad that his response pointed out how silly this was. I think people need to do this more often when people are in controversies over things that don't matter. Just saying this is actually goofy and I'm not going to take this seriously at all. Also, have y'all ever been to a concert? Did you actually think he was going to be able to hear through AirPods? Concerts are loud. Hence earplugs to protect your hearing, aka the thing that is your entire life when you're a musician, producer, etc. It isn't, it won't be, and it never has been that serious. Raul Ala F. F. I don't even know who you are. F. F. Wow, I see why Vogue just stuck all these at the end, huh? F. F. This is hilarious. Oh, wait, hold on a second. It's kind of like Steve Jobs from The Matrix. I like this a lot. I really like the effect of like raindrops, but with crystals. You know what? I'm gonna give this a B+. Carol G. This is just a very fun dress. I mean, what can I say? B. Grace Mary Williams. I don't know. C. Carissa Dumbacher. C. I give Tasha Adams a C. Rachel Smith. I actually like this one a lot. I'm gonna give it a B. Domedi Pongo. Don't even make me say it. Nessa. Very pretty dress. B. And Kevin Kinney. We're ending on a sour note. What better way to end it than to say go home? Obviously, I've never been on the red carpet because I literally post videos to youtube.com. But at this point, I almost want to be. Like, just one day with the craziest designers I could access. Surely they could whip up something interesting, or at the very least, something more interesting than a suit. But yeah, that was the VMAs, everybody. Yay. Or just the part of the VMAs that I wanted to focus on, which was the nonsense and the silliness. And if I look at it as a source of nonsense and silliness, then technically the VMAs 2024 was a success. Because after all, I had a lot of fun. But that's my take on the situation. Dave's take on the situation is that he's still mad that the VMAs won't allow him to wear his outfit. But I mean, if you're familiar with the Statue of David's full outfit, you might understand why. And I'm of course excited to hear your take. I mean, this is the part of the video where a layman would ask you to subscribe, like the video, and leave a comment. But I will ask you to enroll, evaluate the video, and submit your feedback. Because I am of course running a 100% completely all the way for real, okay, maybe not 100%, but mostly unaccredited university. Probably. Just ask anybody in the student body and they'll confirm it for you. We're totally legit. And as for me, whether you'll see me in 24 hours or 24 months is honestly anyone's guess. But until then, thanks for watching. Your homework for today is to avoid paper shredders at all costs.
You know, those hit songs are...
Some of the new hit songs for his bass. Bow, 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 bow. Haitians are eating dogs and cats.
Yeah, it's... Keep up the great work. Doing a great job.
And yeah, Laura Loomer, who, again, she's online more than I could ever be. She even took a quick break from dragging MTG to drag another loyal Trump foot soldier, Senator Lindsey Graham, for having the audacity to publicly admit that Trump lost the debate. She tweeted, "Lindsey Graham has never been loyal to President Trump. He got booed in his own state at a Trump rally and was booed off stage because he is disloyal to Trump and the American people. He probably shouldn't be giving out advice to Donald Trump. In the words of President Trump, Senator Lindsey Graham is doing a great disservice to the Republican Party and to our country. P.S. When is Lindsey coming out of the closet? We all know you're gay, Lindsey, and that's okay. It's okay. It's 2024. There's nothing wrong with gay people. I like men too. You and I have something in common that we can bond over. Just be honest about it. Nobody's going to judge you for being open about who you are.
Saying a lot of stuff that a lot of people agree that they know about.
Oh, that's 100% true. It's just wild. Again, like, she's going around accusing all these people of being disloyal to President Trump and being more vicious towards her fellow Republicans than liberals are towards them.
This is
crazy.
The consequences of the entire Republican Party's own actions and who they decided to support in down ballot elections and the people that they associate with.
Who would have thought assembling a coalition of the just nastiest, most selfish people on the fucking planet would result in chaos and disarray like this?
Truly beautiful to see. So yes, that person is also currently flying around with Trump while he campaigns and also accompanied him to the 9/11 memorial, which was interesting considering her own stated view that 9/11 was an inside job.
But enough about MTG and Laura Loomer. We simply must move on to a different feud between two different MAGA weirdos.
Cool.
Yep. Sorry. This will be quicker, we promise. But Nick Fuentes and Milo Yiannopoulos have beef, apparently. At one point, these two freaks were working together for Kanye West, signing on to his 2024 presidential campaign. Right around the time that Kanye was in his full-blown Nazi era, they said, that's the wagon I'm hitching to. But things apparently went sour between them at some point since then, and we're not even going to bother looking into exactly why that is, because the following is even funnier, just free of any context.
So last weekend, Milo tweeted, I am publicly challenging Nick Fuentes to a baby-off.
What?
With an attachment, an image attached of a document addressed to Fuentes, which read, to whom it may concern, I am publicly challenging Nicholas J. Fuentes to a baby-off. I say I will have more natural-born offspring by the second quarter of 2027. Here are my conditions. No Dave Rubin-style pay-to-play. You cannot rape.
Jesus.
You must succeed in courting a woman and persuading her to breed with you. Children must be conceived naturally as a product of ordinary intercourse and not in vitro fertilization or other artificial methods loathsome to God. In the event of a tie, marriage to the mother shall be the determining factor. The loser shall pay the winner $250,000 and tweet the following. I accept that my adversary, name, is a superior man to me in every way. Sick, depraved, weirdo shit.
Not beating the allegations. Yeah, real freak show shit.
Mm-hmm.
And Nick Fuentes, again, he had a nice dinner with Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago.
Aren't both of them gay?
I mean, well, Milo was gay, but he met Jesus, and now straight. And Nick Fuentes, well, it's never been fully confirmed, but yes.
I just thought that was out. I don't know.
Anyway, looking at more recent posts, Milo has apparently hired a process server to personally deliver the document to Nick and to also leave copies of it on every windshield in his neighborhood. And again, we don't know what the hell this is about, but it's always great when the worst people you know are fighting. And it's especially amusing when it is two gay dudes arguing over who's more straight.
That's what I thought. I'm sorry. And no offense.
I mean, Milo is definitely gay. Yeah. Milo, he famously pivoted to Christianity and voluntarily did conversion therapy to make himself stop being gay, which isn't a thing you can do. Nick Fuentes is an incel virgin who has been caught multiple times on stream looking at gay porn.
Okay, that's where I got it from, I guess. Yeah.
So, yeah, these are two men living lives of misery in a hateful prison of their own design. And we look forward to the day that the MAGA movement, and by extension, all the weirdos like this, are something we don't have to care about anymore.
I do want to say, if they are both straight, which they, I guess,
they're not,
pretend to be, not that I didn't assume this already, but it really shows you what they think of women.
Yeah, they're breeding vessels.
They're vessels and nothing else.
Yeah. And
it's a
and your value as a man is tied to how much you can get that breeding vessel pregnant.
It's a horrible way to live your life.
But yeah, we'd love to. I want a day to come where I don't have to think about these people. But unfortunately, for now, at least, people like Nick Fuentes, Milo Yiannopoulos, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Laura Loomer represent a very real problem that demands our attention. And this week over in Springfield, Ohio, we got yet another example of the real-world impact of all this MAGA lunacy. Here is the local newspaper, the Springfield News-Sun.
Several city, county, and school buildings around Springfield were closed Thursday because of a bomb threat to, quote, multiple facilities throughout Springfield, according to a city statement released Thursday morning. Springfield City Hall was evacuated around 8:30 a.m. Springfield Police Chief Allison Elliott said at a Thursday afternoon press conference that City Hall, the Bureau of Motor Vehicles, the Springfield Driver's Exam Station, Ohio License Bureau on the south side, Springfield Academy of Excellence, and Fulton Elementary School were all named in the threat and were cleared using explosive detecting canines. Yeah, so all the discourse about whether Springfield is being overrun with dog and cat eating Haitians from online commentators, right-wing pundits, and even the former president of the United States, all while the local authorities have insisted that these claims have no basis in reality, has resulted in the most predictable outcome possible. Nut jobs sending in bomb threats, resulting in basically every public building in the city getting evacuated. So great job, assholes.
Yeah, it's the old lives of TikTok move.
Yeah. Who was very upset to see The Onion do a very nasty joke during the debates.
Which joke?
I actually don't want to repeat it. I love The Onion for it, but I don't want to say it on our YouTube video that needs to stay monetized.
All right. Yeah. I'll have to check Tim Onion's feed. That's right. Anyways, we've got the headlines out of the show coming right up. But first, a word from this week's sponsor, Factor. Cooler, milder days are finally coming. Fuel up for fall with Factor's no prep, no mess meal. Meet your wellness goals in this final stretch of the year thanks to their menu of chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved and ready to eat in just 2 minutes, so no matter how busy you are, you'll always have time to enjoy nutritious, great-tasting meals. Make today the day you kickstart a new healthy routine. What are you waiting for?
With 35 different meals and more than 60 add-ons to choose from every week, you'll always have new flavors to explore. Crush your wellness goals with dietitian-approved meals and ingredients that you can trust. Make your day delicious, from breakfast to dessert. Stay fueled with easy, nutritious options. Treat yourself to restaurant-quality meals that feature premium ingredients like filet mignon, shrimp, and blackened salmon. Keep kitchen time to a minimum. Factor meals are ready in 2 minutes. No shopping, prepping, cooking, or cleaning up. And their smoothies are fantastic. Send you a bag of them, and you got one for every day to take on the go.
Very smooth. Enjoy effortless support for your lifestyle. Choose from 6 menu preferences to help you manage calories, maximize protein intake, avoid meat, or simply eat well-balanced. Head to factormeals.com/weeklyweird50 and use code weeklyweird50 to get 50% off your first box, plus 20% off your next month. That's code weeklyweird50 at factormeals.com/weeklyweird50 to get 50% off your first box, plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active.
All right, now into the craziest, weirdest, strangest, and in at least one case, an uplifting headline this week. Not starting with that one, though. This one's just kind of silly. From around the world this week, here you go, starting with
Shannon Sharp apologizes for viral Instagram live sex broadcast.
It is not going unnoticed by at least me that all the funniest sex shit seems to happen on 9/11.
Yeah, this was the morning of 9/11. It could have been exactly at the anniversary of the moment that the towers fell or were struck. But yes, Hall of Fame NFL player and ESPN commentator Shannon Sharp, his Instagram account went live. And you couldn't see anything, which is a minor miracle in itself. This would be so much worse if the camera was actually facing anything. But you could very clearly hear himself and a woman who sounded like she was really enjoying herself.
That's what at first I believe
he's like, I was hacked, and it's like, buddy, it's 2024. You can't play the I was hacked card.
Also, like, hey, take credit for it, buddy.
Yeah, he did eventually. He's like, yeah, it was me. I was laying pipe.
There's also a clip.
She was loving it.
There's also a clip where he, on his podcast, goes, and it just had to happen on that day of all days. And his guest goes, wait, what day? But yes, it is.
Was it his guest or was it his co-host, Chad Ochocinco?
I can't remember. I was listening to the audio of it on something else. But it's just, you know, it happens once with Ted Cruz. You're like, okay.
But that's looking at porn.
Yeah.
That has like connotations of being a greasy little like you're alone, you're stroking
Shannon Sharp
yourself.
was doing work.
Shannon Sharp was engaged in sexual intercourse with a live human woman who
seemed to be enjoying
was
himself.
giving high marks to his performance. And yeah, the fact that it was just the audio and there was no he wasn't putting non-consensual porn on the internet, that makes it a lot less of a problem. It's something that it's shocking, but you can still laugh it off.
Good for ESPN for being like, no, we're not going to punish it. It was an accident, and he's doing a normal human thing.
Yeah. He's pissed. He's like, I've never even done an Instagram live. Like, I just like threw my phone down, and apparently it started Instagram. That's kind of terrifying.
It is, yeah. Make sure your phones are not open, folks.
Yeah, learn from Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, don't get any water on that screen, too. It starts pressing buttons for you and everything.
It really does.
Yeah.
But in other celebrity news.
And this is an actually heartwarming story.
Yeah.
John Bon Jovi convinces woman not to jump off bridge in Nashville. And there is video footage, and he does the right thing.
He approaches very slowly, and he's just like, hey, what's up?
Rubs.
And she's just like, wait, are you fucking... Am I already dead? Is that John Bon Jovi of Bon Jovi? But yeah, no, he approached very gently.
And the person he was with also seemed very calm.
Yeah,
and
they were talking to the woman, and yeah, it resolved itself. Yeah, heartwarming story, and had to be the most surreal way to almost kill yourself is be rescued by a famous 80s rocker.
And this wouldn't have happened if it weren't for beautiful pedestrian bridges.
That's right.
Because if this was a normal bridge, nobody's going to stop the car.
But you know who was really mad about this? The one person that was mad about this was the guy from Third Eye Blind.
Yeah?
Should have been me.
Yeah.
Because he had that song.
Yeah.
I wish you would step down from that ledge, my friend. Should have been me. Bon Jovi doesn't have any songs about suicide.
That we know.
What about me?
I haven't looked into his lyrics recently.
I don't either.
Oh, wait. No, I'm thinking
they got that one that's like, bow, 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 bow.
You're doing a wonderful job.
It's my life.
And it's now or never. I'm not gonna live forever.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's no audio in the video. Maybe he started singing at her. We don't know if he was talking or singing.
I do want to say it is actually a very heartwarming piece of video because everyone comes over and helps with the situation. It is, you see so much negativity and bad things happening on camera, and it is refreshing to see this.
Yeah.
And especially that John Bon Jovi was in it.
It's some good news. I hope John Krasinski puts this in his weekly Some Good News show that he sold to NBC for
There's a guy who lived long enough to become the villain. All of Canada hates him.
Why?
Because he crossed a picket line to be in a commercial for a Canadian company when they were on strike.
Yikes. Office Jim, what are you doing?
Also, he like sold that show. They never did anything with it. They just grabbed the money and left.
He pocketed the money. I mean, that's kind of cool. I can't fault him for that. They offered him the check. He's like, COVID's gonna end at some point, and also I'm not signing on to actually host the show. You can just do whatever. Give me the money.
John Krasinski, we have a wonderful media company called Tenant Media, based out of Nashville. You might have heard of it. We want to license your Some Good News, but can you talk about how it's good that Russia is, invading Ukraine?
Talk about how Crimea has never been safer, never been better. Guy Fieri was mistaken for a bartender and told to get back to work while hanging out at Sylvester Stallone's house. It wasn't Stallone. It wasn't Stallone being like, who the fuck are you? Go make me a drink, asshole.
Yeah.
He's friends with Stallone, which is really funny to picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, and he sounds like he's a good friend because like Stallone's like, hey, Guy, you should come to my party. And Guy's like, hey, can I cook? Cool. He offered to cook, but yeah, he got there and then one of Stallone's like servants or whatever was like, what are you doing back here? Get back to work. These bartenders with their spiky hair and their bleached mustaches
and their flaming t-shirts. Gosh.
I don't know how you mistake Guy Fieri for anything other than a superstar. Yeah, and the mayor of Flavortown.
That's right. That person is not allowed in Flavortown anymore.
He also, in the same interview, he's just like, yeah, like I hung out with Stallone at his house a bunch, and like he got a lot of famous friends. Like I've met like a whole bunch of people, Arnold, whatnot. But the only one that like really starstruck me was Al Pacino. Which I'm like, so the other ones, whatever. Al Pacino, he gets all fanboyed out for like, yeah, oh, Arnold, who cares?
By the numbers, Guy Fieri gets more screen time than any of those people. It is much like MTV is just a ridiculousness channel. The Food Network is nothing but diners, drive-ins, and dives, and Guy's grocery games.
Well, between those two shows, there's probably like 1,000 episodes at this point.
I'm not faulting him for it. I watch it all the time.
Yeah.
It's one of the only shows that I can rewatch multiple times because it is literally just brainless TV, and food looks good all the time.
Yeah, and he visits some good spots.
And also, to point out, he seems like a generally really good dude who donates his time and money to charity, and also makes sure he goes back to these businesses and calls them and makes sure that they're still doing okay.
Yeah, he seems all right.
He does. Seems like a pretty good guy.
But
and don't get in the comments and ruin it for me. He seems nice.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure he's a celebrity, so. But
to whom it may concern, I have consumed a delicious burger outside of my own restaurant. I will be taking this time to try to rebuild the faith I have in my customers. Game developer adds Governor Tim Walz as playable character in Crazy Taxi.
This is so cool. There's video of it too. Because Tim Walz, I don't know if we talked about this, but Tim Walz...
He's addicted to Dreamcast.
Yeah, well, like, he himself hasn't verified this, but, like, when he was a high school teacher back in the early 2000s, he had a Dreamcast, and he would let some of his favorite students come after school and play it, and he eventually, like, sold it to one of his former students when they went off to college, and they said, like, when they opened it, the Crazy Taxi disc was, like, still inside. And there was other people, I think IGN or someone did like a deep dive in this, but there was like other students who were like, yeah, he really liked Crazy Taxi. So anyway, all these years later, someone has figured out how to mod like a Dreamcast emulation of Crazy Taxi to have Tim Walz and Kamala Harris in it with custom like audio lines as well that play while they're driving around. And I think he modified the map to replace some of the locations with like iconic Minneapolis locations.
Yeah.
And he added a stop where you pick up people and drive them to the local polling place.
Oh, they should put a bunch of Prince songs in it.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Going off the last headline though, if they do remake Crazy Taxi, they are. Guy Fieri in it.
They are remaking it. It's coming out like next year.
I heard they were doing a Simpsons Hit and Run remake too. Which, I mean, they're the same games.
The Crazy Taxi actually is coming out. It's going to be like an open world. I don't know, like, it sounds almost too ambitious, but we'll see. I'm excited. That game rules.
Yeah, it does. They don't really have to do much to make it great.
They don't. Jogger left bloodied, dazed, and crying after getting mauled by a gang of otters.
The photos are horrific.
Yeah,
the photo of the gang of otters.
It's like a dozen otters, like...
I don't like it.
No, they're a scary animal. We've covered many...
They will be running too.
We've covered many otter incidents over the years. They are vicious, vindictive, hateful creatures.
Yeah.
You think of them, they're like, oh, they're just chilling on their back, giving their belly a rub. No, they're fucking demons. And they will attack, and
they're
they
like
will hurt
huge
you.
rats with sharp teeth.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what they are. And yeah, this was in Malaysia, I think. And it was like sort of the edge of the city, big park, natural green space where a lot of otters live. And apparently the people there for years have been like, oh, it's so fun to feed the otters crust of bread or whatever. So these otters have just no fucking fear of humans. And they saw this lady running. She probably had her plugs in her ears, so she didn't hear the tap, tap, tap of a dozen otters coming. And they fucked her up. She's like covered in blood.
Really bad, yeah.
Otters, not even once.
Schools are putting vape detectors in bathrooms, paid for by Juul. That's part of our settlement with the U.S. government.
That's literally it. It is, the timing of this is very funny though, because even the article admits, they're like, yeah, teen vaping has actually gone down.
The Zins.
Yeah, it's because they moved on to Zins. And this is only going to accelerate that. Can't vape in the bathroom anymore, so...
I would bet dollars to donuts that any high school, like all the urinals have to have Zin packets in them. Because you see that at like sports stadiums and stuff like that. It's disgusting. But I'd imagine that that's how schools are.
I mean, it's better... A Zin packet in a toilet is still preferable to someone just spitting out their fucking dipwad into the toilet.
True. I know that there was like drugs and stuff and smoking going on at my high school, but I feel like millennials in general, we had come out of like the tobacco companies had been ruled against multiple times. The Truth campaign had started up. The Dare campaign was there. I don't remember smelling cigarette smoke or anything like that in the bathroom.
Yeah, no one smoked at school, but we definitely, it was my high school baseball team. All the players did fucking dip.
Yeah.
And they would spit it out in like the fucking drinking fountains, and it was disgusting.
Yeah. Jumping off of that, it actually is kind of a bummer because as the statistics have shown, we almost did away with nicotine. We were this close as a society to not having an issue with smokers or nicotine or whatever.
They just made it so easy.
Yeah, and then vaping came and that was it.
Yeah.
And now it's Zins. And soon people are gonna be like, nah, I like it the natural way and go right back to smoking.
Oh no, that's already a thing. Like we've come full circle where it's like, it's cool and hip and like interesting to smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, they're like, oh, it's plant matter. How could it be worse than Zins and...
Don't do it. Don't do any of this shit.
Don't start.
If you're young enough that this is affecting you, don't. Just say no. God, I sound like a fucking asshole.
I hate to sound this old and this boring and lame, but
it's
just
not
say no.
worth it. It's not worth it. Navy officer demoted for secretly installing Starlink on warship to check social media.
Like the
conservatives like to say like, oh, are they them military or gay military? That's why we're failing is because, but no, it's just this. It's like millennials and Gen Z and Gen Alpha are not cut out to be.
They don't understand the implications.
Warriors. They're into dumb shit, and it's just they're hooked up to their phones. You can't put them in the middle of the ocean, cut off from the world for weeks on end.
It's also, they don't understand the implications of the technology that is second nature to them, because this has been a problem with every connected device. Smart speakers, Fitbits, Apple Watches, anything that can connect to anything is exploitable for its locations. Not even exploitable, it's in most cases publishing it publicly.
Yeah, every like notable example of like intel breaches in the US military for the past several years have either been accidental or like through just like neglect or just people being fucking idiots and like trying to impress other random people online.
Yeah, the biggest, at least the most notable scandal was that people just had their Fitbits hooked up, and all of that is public information.
You just look at the Fitbit map and you're like, okay, well, that's definitely the border of a secret base in the middle of nowhere. So cool.
Yeah. Candles filled with urine spill on 9-year-old at Indiana Dollar Tree. It's a lot of words that I never thought I'd see together.
Yeah, it sounds like someone is going into this Dollar Tree because the owners are like, yeah, no, we are aware. Someone has been regularly going into this Dollar Tree and filling up these candle, like, so it's a glass, cup with the candle inside it, filling them up with a little bit of urine so that when someone picks it up and tilts it back to give it a sniff, pee pours out.
I've almost puked twice this episode.
They say it's every day they're finding piss candles at the
it's every day, bro.
At the Dollar Tree. So this is someone's fetish. Someone's getting off on this. So when you smell a candle, maybe keep your distance. Do not tilt. Do not tilt. Just say no.
2/3 of American millionaires don't consider themselves wealthy, survey says.
All poor people in this country are temporarily embarrassed millionaires, and all millionaires in this country are actually firmly middle class. I do have to say, though, like, this does factor in net worth, and a lot of people who are like in their 60s or 70s, they've paid off their house. Their house might be worth like $1 million, but that doesn't mean that they have $1 million. If the worst case scenario, they could reverse mortgage it and they'd have money for the rest of their life. But it is a lot of people who are technically worth $1 million aren't living millionaire lifestyle.
And they're probably going to lose all of that when they have to eventually get put in assisted living homes because everyone's living till fucking 90 and are not working past 65 or 70 traditionally. I mean, a lot of people are working past that, my parents included. But it's hard to feel bad, but because they could just downgrade to like a condo or something.
Yeah.
And then it'd be fine. Because that's the thing is there's a lot of the, at least housing crisis when it's talking about single family homes or whatever, are elderly people who refuse to leave their gigantic homes that are completely empty because they're empty nesters. When they could, look, I guess I get it, but like, for just downgrade to a condo so that someone can raise a family in that home that you are not using 1,500 square feet of.
Move to the villages.
Yeah, you get a whole community there.
A whole community.
And a bunch of freaks who show up in vans.
Yeah. But yeah, it's this. I mean, I think this is a very particularly American thing, though, where everyone thinks they're middle class.
Yeah.
Poor people think they're middle class. Rich people think they're middle class. It's only people who are tens, hundreds of millions of dollars who consider themselves rich. And there's probably even a few of those who are like, you know, I'm just one bad day away from losing this all.
There's one guy right now who's currently suing Jeff Bezos because he has his house on the market for $75 million. And Jeff Bezos negotiated down a certain amount of money, and then he found out that it was Jeff Bezos. He's like, no, actually, I want that money back. I wouldn't have given him a deal. If I
mean, I guess I'd be annoyed too, but like, who fucking cares?
You're selling a $75 million house.
Shut up.
Yeah. Do not store guns in your oven. Loaded gun stored in oven fires multiple rounds after getting overheated.
Yeah, I mean, you get a new gun. It's sort of like when you get a new barbecue. It's got all the factory oils and whatnot on it. You gotta burn those off.
Yeah.
So you get the new gun. You put it in the oven. You know, not too high, 350, and
you know, the perfect level for a child to find it who's just snooping around the house.
Yeah, I guess this gun fired off 5 separate rounds because that's the beauty of modern guns. It's like
so many rounds.
When it discharges around, it loads the next one in there, all mechanically. It's amazing. The technology, the guns, they practically shoot themselves, and with an oven, they do shoot themselves.
Guns should be legal, but you should only be. It should be how it was in like the 17 or 1800s, where you have to cast your own bullets and then load them into the gun and shoot.
The really hardcore guys, that's what they do.
Yeah,
they got their own reloading stations at home. That's kind of cool. I'm sure it's very relaxing. Leave me alone.
It's
I'm
more
reloading.
lethal because it's lead.
That's true.
If the bullet doesn't kill,
we don't make lead bullets anymore, folks.
if the
we were a better country when our bullets were lead.
Impact doesn't kill them, the lead will eventually.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Lead, very soft.
Yeah. Then you pull it out and break it down again and do another new bullet.
I'll be taking that. Thank you.
Yoink. Anyways, that's it for this week's episode of Weekly Weird News. We'll be back next week, but in the meantime, we have a lot of bizarre coverage from this week. If you're not already caught up, please.
Yeah, it's all stuff we already talked about. The debate, the Springfield, Ohio nonsense.
Yeah, check it out if you haven't seen it already.
This election needs to happen.
And we have the VP debate to look forward to.
I'm at the end of my rope.
My brain is cooked after this week, especially because we had a heat wave leading into it. But check out those videos, please. And another plea. Please like the video. Press the like button right now. It takes 2 seconds, and it really is the most substantial way that you can help out our channel. If you'd like to leave a comment, that'd be great. Get a conversation going down there. And make sure you're subscribed. Click the join button if you want to. There's a whole lot of buttons you can check out. Why don't you click
them all?
Anyways, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Tim Pool had Laura Loomer on his show. Now, again, I'm not...
It just seems like there's this never-ending stream of cop shows essentially doing PR for the police. They sell.
Now you want control? How are you gonna turn around and be like, oh, an assault style, a high-powered assault style with a long barrel was near the vicinity of our president, our big beautiful president Donald Trump? Excuse me, we need to do something about this. How is this happening? Damn, Hannity, I thought we were on board. I thought we were up, dog. I thought you were a real one. We're definitely doing that because he just openly admits that he just lies for fun. He lies for attention, which is crazy. He's just like, yeah, I'm that. I lie for attention. Don't forget, Laura Loomer is younger than Hassan. Laura Loomer is younger than me. Many people are asking. Many people are thinking about not voting for Trump anymore because of the inappropriate age gap between Laura Loomer, Baby Gronk, and Donald Trump are in an inappropriate age gap relationship. But to all the critics that have said Laura Loomer is rizzing up Donnie J, Donnie J has said Laura is a fiery woman, and also that Laura kind of looks a lot older than she actually is. I get why you have haters now. I don't know why. This is what too much TikTok does to people. That guy always looks so sad. Like I think I'm nailing the cadence, but like every time he talks about, it literally feels like he is being punished by God for that he committed in a past life. I don't know. His face is so sad all the time. Where he's like, "What have I become? Like I spend the finite amount of time I have on this planet." That's what's going on with that. Do more brain rot news coverage. It might actually work. What are you talking about? The pain in your eyes isn't quite there. All right, let's see what the CNN is saying.
The alleged, but that's not what we have right now. And again, as Chief Ramsey pointed out, and Chief Ramsey's been around a long time and he's lived this experience, the first story is never right. But we believe that the information we're getting from our sources, which is the flash reporting coming from law enforcement on the scene, is going to be a pretty close composite to how this unfolded. That will have to be processed for DNA, for fingerprints. So what the practice that I've always used at the scene, that my colleagues always used at the scene, is if it fell with the serial number facing up, you know, to take a picture of it, and then not to handle that at all, because you don't want to add any biological material or disturb it before the lab people get to it. You want to give it to them as pristinely as possible.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. I want to bring in senior justice correspondent Evan Perez, who's with us now. You have more information on someone detained?
That's right, Fred. The authorities there, Secret Service, on the scene were able to detain that person. Now, you know, obviously, as John just you know, making reference, you know, a lot of this is very early information from law enforcement. A lot of times it's, you know, it's just the heat of the moment, and they're trying to report what they have at the scene. But at this point, what they're saying is that they've detained a person. Now, they believe this is a person who was connected to this scene. And you know, the reason why they were shot.
Bro, I don't get it. Like Americans love their. It seems like everyone's got a, okay? It seems like every goddamn American has a, and they're just so ass at shooting, okay? How is that possible? We got our cleaned out by Koreans, an old 52-year-old Turkish man. Like, they don't even have in their country, and they were much better shots than us, okay? At the Olympics. And it's like, we don't even have, there's no, zero good at the Olympics, zero good in terms of political assassination. Like, look at Japan, dog. Those mobs don't even have, look at Japan. They don't even have, and that guy pulled one off. It's kind of crazy. Like, this is not a political statement about like Donald Trump or anything like that, okay? It's just kind of shocking how bad Americans are at shooting. Because like at the end of the day, like the goal of shooting is supposed to be like hitting a target. And it's wild that like just bad. Americans are just bad at shooting, it seems, objectively. Like marksmanship is barely considered in the military. Yeah, like what the, I think we got far too invested in our like military superiority. Okay. Like back in the day during World War II, you had like female Red Army snipers, you know what I mean? Like stories were told about like, you know, Russian snipers that just like sat in a clock tower